Hey guys, welcome back to another video. It's been a long time, but I hope you're all doing very well. Today I wanted to follow up on a video that I did quite a while back regarding TTT custom weapon sweps. It's been requested again because I know a lot of the stuff was outdated, but we're going to go through it and we're just going to see what's going to happen. So first of all, I want to show you kind of what this video is going to do, and then hopefully you'll see if this is going to be relevant for you. But basically, I'm a traitor at the minute, and what we're going to do is we're going to learn how to add traitor weapons and detector weapons to the C specialist menu in Trouble in Terrorist Town. So basically, as you can see, I'm the traitor. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to click on C. You can see everything looks quite normal except for this guy right here. We've got the Infinity Gauntlet. Now the Infinity Gauntlet is obviously, if you're a Avengers fan, is in the new Infinity War film. Which is a great film, but there's an add-on for it which is really kind of cool. It's pretty decent, but anyway, yeah, so we're gonna see how this kind of works. There's a bunch of different settings in this where you can kind of just like do some crazy shit, so just like attack the bots or whatever. But yeah, so this is kind of the idea. It's going to allow us to add a custom SWEP with a kind of custom icon as well. I do think as well with this add-on is that it allows you to say, it appears Infinity Gauntlet was used to kill them, which is kind of cool. So yeah, there's some pretty cool features right here, but we're going to get right into the video. Okay guys, so let's get straight into this. What we're basically going to do is we are going to go straight into our Gmod install, which is under Programs, 86, Steam, Steam Apps, Common, Garry's Mod, Add-ons, and then you've got all of your add-ons in here. You want to find the add-on that you want to turn into a SWEP. Make sure you subscribe to it on Garry's Mod and make sure that it's downloaded. If that is the case, then you'll be able to see it in here. So the Infinity Gauntlet is the one we're going to do, obviously, like it just showed you in the preview, and we're just going to go ahead and copy that. Actually, we're not going to copy that. We're going to open a new tab for a new window. We're going to head back into that directory, so Program 86, Steam, Steam Apps, Common, Garry's Mod. I'm going to bin this time, and then find some file called gmad.exe. What we're going to do is hold down Control, drag it, and then copy that to your desktop or to a folder or whatever. I'm just going to put it in this folder right here. So now you've got your Gmod add-ons folder open, and you've got your Gmod extractor folder open. What you basically need to do is drag your add-on onto that. It will do this CMD window, and then you will have a folder. Basically, this folder is all of the contents of the add-on. Garry's Mod just converts it to a GMA file, which is a Garry's Mod add-on file, just to compress it. But basically what we're going to do now is we're going to move this onto our server, which we can do fairly easily, because I'm using a local server, but if you're doing a remote server, you can just use it via FTP or SSH, whatever you're using. But I'm using a local copy, which is right here. So I'm going to go into Garry's Mod, then add-ons, and I'm going to drag that into my server add-ons folder. The next thing we need to do is convert this add-on into a terrorist or a TTT SWEP, which is fairly easy to do. It's fairly straightforward, and I'll show you how to do that. We basically want to go into this folder, and we want to open this in a text editor. So for the text editor, I'm just going to use Visual Code. You can use whatever you want. Notepad++ works, or I'm pretty sure any program would work, any kind of text editor, but I will use Visual Code. The next thing we want to do is head into Lure, Weapons, Infinity Gauntlet, which is the name of the SWEP, and then we want to go into shared.lure. At this point, you're going to be loaded up with this information right here. This is all Lure files, so it's fairly straightforward to do. However, I will explain it just because I know it's quite confusing looking at all this, but once we get into it, you'll find it really easy. We basically have a bunch of different code in here which makes the gauntlet work. but you don't need to worry about any of it other than the top bit. So if you find the piece where it says SWEP, we want to add a piece anywhere in the top of this file. I'm just going to add it at the very top. The next thing we need to do is begin to add some additional options to this. So what we're going to do is we're going to type in SWEP.Base equals, and then we're going to call it weapon underscore TTT base. Now all of this is case sensitive, so make sure that you pay attention. The next thing we want to do is we want to add another SWEP, and we want to call it SWEP.Kind, capital K, and we're going to set the kind of the weapon to weapon underscore heavy. This can be weapon underscore like lightweight, or it could be whatever is specified on the, I think it's on the Lure website. I'll leave a link to it in the description. The next thing we need to specify is SWEP.CanBuy. This will basically allow us to set up a role that will be allowed to buy or purchase the weapon. So for this instance, we're going to use role underscore traitor. That can also be role underscore detective, or if you've got some custom roles, you can probably specify that as well. Some more options that we're going to specify is SWEP.AutoSpawnable. We want to set that to false because we don't want it to auto spawn. The next thing we want to set is SWEP.InLoadoutFor. That needs to be a capital I, and we're going to set that to nil because we don't want this SWEP to be in the loadout. We just want it to be purchasable by traders. We're also going to set another value, which is SWEP.AllowDrop, and all of these codes will be in the description, and I'll also leave a link to the Glure website where you can find additional properties if that's what you want. I'm going to set this to false because we don't want any traitors dropping this for like innocence or something. We're also going to set some additional properties here. They're not necessarily, but I think we should set them because why not. So IsSilent, which is going to be, set that to true because it kind of is a silent weapon, although it's a gauntlet, so it should be quite loud, but it's quiet. So we'll set that to false, and then we'll use we'll set that to true, and then we'll use SWEP.NoSights because there's no sights in this, so we'll set that to true. So that's all we have to do in that instance. The next thing we need to do is we need to add some additional code. So we want to set up some if statements here. So we want to say if client, so if we're receiving from the client, then we want to do SWEP.Icon equals, and then that's that. We need to basically find the icon now. So if you head back into your server add-ons folder, find your add-on, go into materials, vgui, entities, and then you'll find a bunch of files. Your add-on may have more weapons, it may have less weapons, but at the end of the day, you should have some files in here. You basically need to copy the path to this file. So if we go to properties, we just need to copy this part right here. So it's going to be vgui / entities, we don't do backslashes, and then we need to specify the name, which is in this instance is Infinity Gauntlet. We don't need to use VMT or VTF because this is just specifying the SWEP, so it actually uses both files. The next thing we want to do is add some information to the menu, on the traitor menu or the detective menu. So what we're going to say is menu data equals, I think it might be equip menu data actually, not equipper. I think it's equip menu data. and then we need to specify some parameters here. So we want to say type equals this will be the name, so we'll just set that as Infinity Gauntlet, and then we'll specify a description for it. So we'll just say disk equals, and then Thanos, so Thanos's gauntlet. And then we're just going to write end. We set one more if statement up, and then we're good to go. So if server, then resource.AddFile, which will basically download the file to the client, so that if we're missing the file, then it will be downloaded automatically. And we need to specify the full path here, so we need to specify materials, vgui, entities, and then this file. So materials /vgui /entities infinity gauntlet .vmt. And that is that. So we're just going to click write end there. I'm going to save that. Then we're going to close this file, head back to our server. I'm just going to run that server. Okay, so we've got Gmod open now. What we're going to do is we're going to add a couple of bots in here. So just spawn a couple of bots in, and then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to set my force next round, invalid, force next round. We want to specify traitor. Yes, there we go. So you can see there's the Infinity Gauntlet. Got my little traitor buddy over here. And then we can kind of kill everyone with this. So yeah, that's it guys, fairly simple to do. If you've got any questions regarding it or anything like that, feel free to let me know, because obviously I appreciate that sometimes it might be a little bit difficult to follow along with these tutorials, but hopefully it helped. I know it's quite a short one, but yeah, there you go. I'll see you in the next one guys.